there's a lot of things I don't understand in this world. And I mean, we're getting better about it, but education system, right? Wouldn't you want to put money into the future of education with our children? And instead, we have a system where you go through 12th grade. And granted, a lot of times they have college prep programs and you can get basically an associate's degree before you ever set pace into college. But since we're thinking about education and the future and things are changing, why don't we accept the fact that we should take it to 14 grades, right? Instead of 12th grade, let's go 14 and you leave with a bachelor's degree, right? 14 grades, you leave with a bachelor's degree. That's pretty good, right? And it's not necessarily just a bachelor's degree in some science field or nursing field. It can be a degree in a trade, a master plumber. Not only it's not a master plumber, but you could get a more than just your basics. Maybe, it can just be trade as well. And we equip students to leave our education system ready to go. Not get there, graduate to the real world, and then if you're good enough or you had enough money, you can go to a college and get paid or pay to go to college to get more degrees and more learning so you can be hireable. Why not do that right off the bat? It doesn't make any sense to me. Let's do our young folks a justice, Let's start them on the right foot. Why would we want to start young people off with debt? Right at the bat, we're going to force you to go to college. You're probably not ready for it, and you really don't know what you want to do because we didn't force you. We didn't put you in a program. Not force you. But we didn't guide you towards a program. You could be guided towards a program, so by the time you get out of what we consider high school, you are full-fledged, ready to go. Like a full-fledged citizen with a job, making a good wage right out of high school. We used to do that. We used to have enough education to where you could have a great job right out of high school. And I'm talking a great job. I'm talking a job you could retire on right out of high school. High school education is all you needed because our high school education was fantastic. Now we have a tier, a separation. You have to go to a high school. And if you don't go to a good high school, you're not going to get a good education. Let's be honest about it. Most high schools are horrible in this country. For the most part, people don't learn that much. They're not that smart anymore. Why do we want such dumb people? Let's do better for our children. It's our kids, right? We want more kids in this world. Let's have more smart kids. And it's not just about being smart. It's about being smart at what you do, right? It's about being smart. There's several ways to be smart. You just don't got to be straight A student smart. Well, maybe you're smart with creating something. Maybe you're smart with physics. Maybe you're smart with whatever. There's various ways to be smart. And there's various ways that we can make a better environment for the high school population, for high school kids. Let's graduate them with a real thing. And on that topic, with their high schools, sports are good and all, and sports are great. I love it. But why don't we have more competitions that's based on this bad boy right here, your mind? And yes, sports is a mind game. It's like playing chess. I understand that. But why don't we do, I don't know, let's make our town better. We'll clean the town up. We'll have competitions to clean the town up. We'll have competitions to build the most zero energy or zero waste energy plant we can put downtown. Let's figure out how to use Bitcoin mining with heating greenhouses in the winter and growing fresh food. Let's be innovators. Let's change things. This curriculum that we're working on in schools today is just crazy. And it started when I was in high school. We had to start testing, right? It was all test. It wasn't applied knowledge. I didn't do good in high school. Did good in some things. I didn't test well. I have trouble in testing. When I have to spit out knowledge, I'm nervous and I know this stuff and I can walk away knowing it, but it's like knowing a song really well, right? You know a lyric, you get on stage and you can't remember a lyric to save your life. That's how testing was for me. I didn't do well in testing because you have to build an environment that fosters the level of the student. Embrace their creativity, embrace their uniqueness. We should be able to look through the school system and say, and understand what kids need to be vibrant parts of this society. You know, what they need to do better. Because every kid's different. Every child is different. And some kids need isolation. Some kids need headphones on. Some kids need stimulation while they're studying. Every kid is different. We should be able to figure that out and put them into programs where they're going to excel at, right? Not force them into programs like, oh yeah, you're do this, you're going to be good at this. No, we slowly push them in a direction that's they're suited towards. Everybody has a skill. Everybody can be amazing. Everybody has a nice wrinkly brain, right? We all fit in, no matter where you're at on the spectrum, no matter who you are, you fit in. You just have to be shown a way to tap into your creativity, tap into your passion, tap into your knowledge. And we are doing a disjustice in the schools. And graduating a kid, oh, you got out of the 12th grade, here's your diploma. Doesn't mean a whole lot. If they left, some leave with associates, but they should all be leaving with bachelor's degrees in some type of aspects. What does that do to the college? You're still collegiate level. There's still more learning to go on to. That you're going to get better students in the collegiate level as well, because by the time they get out of high school and they reach that, they know and they want more. If we foster kids, like now we're just saying, well, this kid has this and we can't teach this kid. Well, if we teach this kid in the way they learn, they're going to become great at whatever they want to be, whatever they want to do, because they're being fostered in good educational soil. You know, they're all good seeds. We just need to provide the educational soil for them to grow properly and give them the tools to go out into our society and be productive members of society, so they're not strapped with thousands and thousands and thousands and tens and $100,000 of debt to get an education that doesn't mean that much, because they weren't pushed in the right direction from a child. They were just told to go to college and, you know, it'll work out. You're going to get a college degree. College degree is going to get you somewhere. It will. We can do the same thing for high school. Let's change it up. Let's do better. You know, let's envision this change. Why can't we change it? We can change things. There's a lot of things we can change about high school. Better food. Ooh, better food for the kids. We're feeding kids garbage and wondering why they act up. Wonder why they have issues and problems. We feed them garbage food. Garbage in, garbage out. Give them better food, better options. Teach people to grow food in schools. Be creative. Embrace the creatives. Embrace the entrepreneurs. Reach children where they're at. You know, do better. That's all I can say is do better. And I've taught, you know, I'm not foreign to teaching. I've taught high school students with Upward Bound, and I taught at Kent State University. And teaching is tough. It really is. But, and if we paid teachers better too, gave better salaries to teachers, especially the good teachers that are passionate, the ones that want to teach, the ones that love to teach, and there's no shortage of great teachers in the world. There is. Find those teachers that know how to reach the children and teach them in the ways that they learn. Not just book knowledge, not just taking tests. Every child is different. Everybody's different. You just need different ways, right? Embrace children that are different. Foster their creativity. Foster their uniqueness. And do better. Do better when it comes to food. Do better with what they need, and give them a better education system so they leave equipped to be as citizens in the world. Not equipped to have a high school diploma. It doesn't get you that much. Then you have to go do more on top of that. Let's give them the best they can possibly get, and then they can go and do better. You know, I don't know much about much. I don't know anything about anything, but I know that I know a little about something. And what I see isn't working, and we need better. Thank you for listening to my thoughts on this episode of Blue Green's World.